Welcome back to 5 additional looks you can create using your February nail mail box. As we featured black and white this month, I thought it's the perfect time to do 5 monochrome looks that you can use any time of the year. To create the looks, I'll be using the brush and go from BrillBird in black and white. I'll be using the Nail Order I Do gel polish, which is a shea pink. And brushes and tools, I'll be using my Erin Searle 8XXF, that was in your January nail mail. I'll be using the Nails-Luxe brush K, which is my go-to long liner brush. I'll be using the Nail Lab dotting tool and a clean-up brush. There is actually a clean-up brush in your nail mail box this month as well, so you can use that. As you can see, I'm also using a Nails-Luxe palette, and then I'm using the little magnetic mounts to do my designs on. To start off with, I've prepped my tips. I sped this up because you really don't need to watch me prepping them. You need 3 with the sheer pink, and then the other 2, 1 black and 1 white. For the sheer pink, I did 2 coats with a cure in between just to make sure it's full coverage enough. With the brush and go being a gel paint rather than a polish, you only really need 1 coat. So I went in and painted one of my tips in black and then the other one in white. Once they were cured, I went in with a coat of matte top coat. I find it easier to draw nail art on top of the matte top coat. For the first design, I've decanted some of the black brush and go onto my palette, and I'm just working it through my brush so we've got even coverage and no little ball of product at the end of the brush. And then I'm going to try and draw a vertical line from top to bottom. I find this easier with a longer brush because you manage to get from the top to the bottom. If you are using a detailer brush, it is still possible. You just have to probably work a little bit slower and stop a few times. You can go in from the bottom to just ensure that line is even, again with the tiniest bit of product on your brush. Once you're happy with your line, you can either cure it at this point or you can go on to do the next bit. I personally like keeping it all uncured so that I can make minor amendments if I want to, but that's up to you. So now I'm going in and making a French on this side of the nail. Everyone's got their own way of drawing French, but I personally like to do a rough outline, fill my colour in, and then go back and add bits and take bits away as I need. Once it's filled in, I will neaten up my smile line and I'll try and make that a little bit more symmetrical and round. I am such a perfectionist, I could sit here for an hour touching up that line. But once you're happy, you can go in with your clean up brush as well and just get any little bits that are annoying you. And then we'll move on to the bottom one. I've kept my tip this way around because if you were doing it on a client, you'd have to have it this way around. Obviously, you can spin them little tips around, which would make it a little bit easier. But on your client, you can't do that. So we're going in with the exact same technique as you've done at the top, just at the cuticle area. Draw it, fill it in, and touch up your lines. I'll speed it up a little bit so you don't have to listen to me witter. Again, once you've filled your tip in, you can go in and perfect your smile line. Like I said at the beginning, you might have your own way of doing French that you find easier. It is simply the same as a French. You're just doing it on half the nail. This is the reason as well I don't like to cure the middle bit, because I like to go in at this point and make sure it all seamlessly blends. Obviously, you can still do this if your middle line is cured. I just feel like it works a little bit better if you don't cure. Obviously, if you're worried about smudging anything, you can go in and partially cure at any time. Once you're happy with your design, pop it in the lamp and cure. Once it's cured, you can go in with your top coat. BrillBird is actually a tack-free gel paint, so you can leave it as it is with a matte background and then your BrillBird shiny on top. But I like it all shiny, so I've gone in with a top coat. First design done, and on to the next one. We're going to do the white background and we're going to do a checkerboard design. So similar to how we did the first lines, you want to take the tiniest little bit of black on your brush and split the nail vertically into 3 sections. This is actually a lot harder than it looks. Take your time when drawing your lines, and I do recommend a longer brush like we did in the first design. Don't worry about the coverage of these lines, we're going to go in at the end and perfect all the lines. Just think about getting your grid perfect first. Once you're at this point, I would cure, just so that when you're doing your horizontal lines, if you make any mistakes, you can clean them up without affecting your vertical lines. Once that's cured, we're going to split it horizontally into 4 sections. Again, the exact same technique, but it is a little bit more difficult, I think, to get horizontal lines. Use the very tip of your brush and drag it across like we did with the vertical lines. That actually looks really round, but I think it's the angle of my camera. Again, don't worry about the coverage of them lines. You'll see that one looks a little bit wishy-washy. We're going to go back in, just concentrate on getting your lines down. It doesn't look as round now, so that's good. You want 4 sections, so 3 straight lines across the nail. I'm then going to mark out which sections I'm going to be painting all black. So it's a checkerboard, so it's every other. I'm then going to go in and colour each of the black squares black. At this point, don't worry about the corners and refining those squares. Just get them coloured in and then we can refine at the end. I actually switched it up here and used my Erin brush. I just felt like because it's not as long, it didn't flick as much. So it definitely made it easier to colour in the squares. Once you've coloured in all the squares, you can go back in with your fine liner and just start to neaten up those corners. You can also use your clean up brush if you've added a bit you don't want, or just to make those lines a little bit cleaner. Again, I could be here all day touching up these lines and making it perfect. But once you are happy with the way your checkerboard is looking, pop it in the lamp and cure. Once it's cured, put your favourite glossy top coat over the top, and that is the second design done. On to the third, and you'll need some of your white brush and go decanted onto your palette, and we're going to go in and draw a French. Like I said earlier in this video, everyone has their own ways of drawing French. I honestly wing it, fill it in, and then touch it up. And I know people have all these groovy lines that they do and they can, yeah, that's not me. I'm old school, I wing it. So go how about you would draw a white French. Once you've done your French, pop it in the lamp and cure it, and then we'll go on to do a cow print. For this, you'll need your black gel paint decanted onto your palette, and then you can either use a dotting tool, which is what I'm using, or you can use a small detailer brush. And the best thing about cow print is there is no right or wrong way. You're just applying in blobs where you find fit, different size blobs, let's call them. Some small, some big. And yeah, if you then want to go in with your detailer, you can do, just to neaten up some of your edges. But that is it. Honestly, salon friendly, easy. Yeah, simples. Once you're happy, pop it in your lamp and cure. Once cured, pop your top coat over, and that's your third design done. For your fourth design, we're doing another half and half design. So follow the steps in the first tutorial and draw another vertical line down the middle of the nail. Ensuring that it's thin, you've got a little bit of product, you can't see any balls of product on my brush, and just using the very tip of your brush to guide the brush down. Once you've got your guideline, you can use more product and make that line as thin or as thick as you like. Just make it consistent from top to bottom. Once you're happy with that middle line, cure. We're then going to go in with another little half French, but not as deep on the sides. It's as if you've cut a French off halfway. So it's not a full French, it's half a French. And once you're happy with your lines, you can go in and fill that top bit in. Then you can go in and touch it up as per the other tutorials. And then once you're happy with it, pop it in the lamp and give it a full cure. You can see there on my nail that there's a little bit of black out of the smile line, but you're going in with your white, so this will cover it up. Go directly underneath that smile line with another smile line in your white. Not quite as thick. Honestly, the depth is up to you. If you do a little guideline on the left hand side, and then you can follow how thick you like it. And I'm repeating myself again, but as I said before, do a guideline, fill it in, and then touch up any bits you need to. You can also use your clean up brush as well. This will just get the perfect lines. Once you're happy, pop it in the lamp and let it cure. Once cured, we're going to go in with our white brush and go, and a flat gel brush, and just get a nice even coverage on that other side of the nail. Once you've cured the white, you'll see that we've lost a little bit of definition in the black line. So go back in again with a little bit of black on your brush and just reinstate that line. I've then gone in with a matte top coat and just made it nice and even for when I go in with the nail art on the left hand side. You might actually want to just leave it like this. I do think that's a really cool monochrome design without anything, but let's go extra. So once that's cured, I'm going in and painting a zebra print design. A little bit like the cow print, there's no right and wrong way of doing zebra print. You might be able to find an inspo image on Instagram of someone that's done zebra print, but honestly, I just winged it. Unlike other line designs with animal print, I feel like you can work with that little bit more product on your brush. So you can see I have got quite a lot of product on my brush because I want those lines to be uneven. Once you've got your lines down, you can go back up to your top ones and put a bit more product in where you see fit. As I got further down this design, I realised that I've got more product at the bottom than I had at the top. So you can go back in and add a little bit more product where you think it's needed. And once you're happy with your zebra print, pop your design in the lamp. Again, you can have them fully matte, but I chose a glossy top coat to finish off my design. And there we have design number 4. And something super simple for your final design. You want a matte top coated background, and then you can either use top coat, which is what I'm using, or you can probably use your black Brush and Go BrillBird paint as well. And we're just putting even dots around the outside of the nail. Once you've done that, pop it in the lamp. Once that's cured, we're going to go in and draw a love heart in the same way. So take your top coat and your dotting tool or your BrillBird Brush and Go, and then make a little love heart in the centre of your nail. Once you're happy with the shape of your love heart, pop it in the lamp, and that one's done. And there's 5 monochrome designs you can create using this month's nail mail box. I hope you love the designs. I hope you have a chance to recreate them either on swatches or on your clients, and please tag me if you do. There are some remaining February boxes left on the website, and if you use code YouTube at checkout, it'll save you some money. We'll also link all the products used in this video in the comments.